What is going on, everybody? James Hancock here. I'm back to do a reaction video to the first official trailer for Spiral from the Book of Saw, written by and starring Chris Rock. Now, as soon as you hear Chris Rock, you're going to think, oh, well, this is obviously going to be some crazy, outrageous comedy, but not so. This is actually the 9th film in the Saw series, and it's directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, I think is how you say his name, who directed Saw 2, Saw 3, and Saw 4. Now, I can't claim to be a connoisseur of the Saw franchise. I saw the first 3, I believe, but it's been a while since I've watched any of them. But initially, this movie was going by the name The Organ Donor. I don't know if that was a situation where they were trying to disguise the fact that it's a Saw movie, or did the movie kind of get shot and then repurposed to be a Saw movie? I'd have to dig a little deeper, but I should also mention this movie stars Samuel L. Jackson. I can't remember the last time Samuel L. Jackson and Chris Rock were in the same movie, if ever. Maybe like in the early 90s when they were popping up, and like if you look at the early 90s, both of their careers, they just had tons of cameos and tons of films before they became massive, massive stars. But I'm excited to see this new direction for Chris Rock because I think of all the living comedians, he's definitely in the mix as one of the greatest living comics. I saw him one time at the Comedy Cellar here in New York by surprise. We were hanging out, just watching the normal lineup, and suddenly they made an announcement that said, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Chris Rock." And we're like, what the hell? Like he's not on the lineup. And he came up and he just improvised for an hour. He announced, he said, "Look, I'm hosting the BET Awards in a couple weeks. I'm just trying to kind of get my chops going." He basically was kind of practicing a few ideas, and you could see him almost writing in his head on stage because he'd walk around for a while, he'd pause, and then he'd just toss out a topic, and then he'd start riffing on it. But I was just blown away by his ability to write spontaneously that way. But if he wants to dig into the world of horror, more power to him. I'm all for him trying to spread his wings creatively. Yeah, so he wrote it alongside Pete Goldfinger and Josh Stolberg, and we shall see what we shall see. But I think before I ramble anymore, let's go ahead and let this trailer rip right now.
What do you got there?
Oh, it's just my wife, Emma. This is my son, Charlie.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
While it lasts.
Nothing happier than the wife of a new detective.
Emma's cool, man. She's different. You don't know my wife.
You can give a woman 600 Tuesdays. It ain't worth 3 Saturday nights.
How much money you got? A lot. How many problems you got? A lot. How many people done died? A lot.
All available units, officer down.
Pray that you flop.
Detective Banks en route. Whoever did this has another motive. They're targeting cops.
Like seeing him play hard and grizzled.
This shit's gonna go sideways fast.
Somebody's out there pulling all the strings.
You wanna play games, motherfucker?
Whoa. That's that classic Saw scenario. I guess first time I saw somebody deal with that scenario was probably Mad Max, where you've got the hacksaw and you've got the handcuffs holding you in place. But I have to admit, that looks pretty cool. I mean, obviously, there would be a lot of people who are going to be skeptical that Chris Rock can handle serious drama, but I always enjoy seeing comedians try to, I guess, practice or express or show what they got when it comes to acting. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Chris Rock's got some hidden depths on that front that have not been explored. But yeah, so May 15th, I have to admit, I'm pretty fired up. And when they say from the Book of Saw, maybe this is kind of like a soft reboot where they'll start doing more movies that'll just be set in the Saw continuity, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like Saw 5, Saw 6, blah, blah, blah. Just say this is another story from the Book of Saw, but like I said, it depends upon how well this movie does. But it's crazy just how many horror movies are coming out this year. It's only like early February, and there've already been like 5 in the theater. It's like, how many horror movies are coming out this year? But the answer is a lot because I know this one was moved up to the spring to avoid competing with Halloween in October. But I remember looking at the schedule for this year a couple weeks ago, and there's just dozens of horror movies. I don't know, something's in the water, but if you're a horror fan, it's time to get fired up because at a bare minimum, anytime in a given year, you've got a couple dozen horror movies. A few of them are going to scare the pants off us. So chalk me up as very curious, very interested. And May 15th, I know where I will be. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you want to talk more about horror or Chris Rock or comedy, whatever, you can always find me on Twitter at Colbrax. But if you enjoyed this reaction, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you're a longtime subscriber, consider hitting the notification button because I've been seeing that a lot of my subscribers don't actually get alerts when my videos get posted. So hitting the notification button is the best way to make sure that you get the content from the people that you subscribe to. In any event, hope everyone has a great day. But more importantly, as always, onwards and upwards.